So I'm picking up the flywheel bolts for the S14 right now. I'm at a place called Enemy Creations. This is Armando. He's been talking to me over the phone, and you know, I was just going through my Instagram messages. They said that this place might have some in stock. They actually didn't have them in stock same day, but they were able to order them in and get them the next day for me, which is awesome. We have them right here. These are J30 flywheel bolts, so those are good and ready to go. But this place is literally only like just over 2 miles away from the house, less than a 10-minute drive, and they have a whole bunch of performance parts in stock ready to go, which is awesome. Yeah, I'm really glad to know about this place because we'll probably be making some more trips down here. They got head gaskets in stock, you know, vibrant fuel lines, AN fittings, all-wheel drive kits. All-wheel drive, yeah, they have a Hub City all-wheel drive kit right here in stock. You know, this is an EF one. If you need to come all-wheel drive your Civic, they got K20 pumps in stock, wheels and tires. So this is a nice little shop, especially for it being just down the street. Yeah, down the street. This is awesome.
Probably like around 15-20 minutes from Tampa, from central Tampa. But yeah, whenever you guys need, it's him here. If you go down to like Kissimmee area, there's a bunch more, but a shop like this that we center around ourselves, around like giving the customers like the best time and the best quality customer service, there's not that many out there.
Yeah, no, I'm really glad this is right down the street. This is sweet. So, and these guys were able to get the flywheel bolts I needed. So that is awesome. Thank you guys so much. And
no problem, man. Anytime. Feel free to give us a call anytime you guys need anything.
Sweet. Yeah, try to go get this S14 thrown back together. I'm pumped. This is sick. All right, guys. So in the last video, I had mentioned that we needed to do some electrical work at the shop, get some new lighting, and I actually had a guy message me on Instagram who is a local Floridian, and he came down, and today we're going to be installing some new outlets, getting the lighting upgraded a little bit, and yeah, just doing some updates to the shop. So this is Sean.
How's it going, guys? Nice to meet y'all. So I'm here doing the outlets in the shop. We're gonna do some receptacles. We're also gonna do a 220 outlet for welding. We're gonna do some lighting in here as well. I actually messaged Kyle on Instagram. I had no idea he would message me back. I just went ahead and just shot for it, and he actually messaged me back. He's an awesome, cool guy. Give me an opportunity to get this done for him, and I'm just excited to knock this out for him, man.
Yeah, it was actually sweet. I'm super glad that he reached out to me. I was actually hoping someone, you know, would just kind of reach out to me because I don't know anyone out here. Yeah. And yeah, he's a certified electrician, and he came over here the other day just to kind of look everything over before he actually came with tools and equipment, and you know, we're getting what we need knocked out today.
Ready to knock it out today. Ready to get you welding.
Yeah, get the welders working, get the lights brighter, and hook it up.
Transform the shop. I'm glad I could help you out, man.
Yeah, awesome. So let's get to it.
Hell yeah.
All right, guys, check it out. Sean just got done installing the new lights, got done with the electrical around these walls right here, and we got much more light now around the car. So if you can kind of tell, these middle lights are a slightly different color than these LEDs right here, and that's because these are still the regular like halogen bulbs, and we are going to be switching these out for LEDs, but to do that we just have to switch out the little ballast inside. So for now they're going to stay how they were, but he tied into these for power to power the new LED ones, which are much brighter than the ones in the middle there. But yeah, the shop's looking awesome now. So now the back's actually well lit and the front is well lit as well. And then we got the outlets going all the way around now, because when I came into this place I noticed there was not many outlets to run stuff, and I like to have outlets everywhere in the shop, you know, because we never know where we're going to be running an angle grinder or something. So we got outlet there, that runs down along here to another quad outlet there, then it comes up here to another quad outlet, and then we have our 220 right here for the welders. And I got the HTP down here just to test everything out. She powers on, she's ready to rip. So we need to get a welding table and stuff made, but the welders will be able to run off of that. I'm thinking about putting a bench right here, maybe even a little corner bench, set up a little welding area here in the shop, and then that runs along to this outlet, and then that ties into the box, and then the front already had some existing outlets. I think we're gonna change this one out to a quad outlet as well, maybe put it down there. He was saying this one at some point arced, so we need to replace that guy because it's kind of sketch. But yeah, she's looking good. You killed it, man.
Hell yeah, I'm glad I could do it for you, man. I'm glad you got the shop going now, and welcome to Florida. I'm glad to have you here, and anything you need, I'll be able to help you out.
Yeah, this dude's really cool. He's actually been telling me a whole bunch of cool places to check out, things to see. He knows a lot of people down here, so.
Florida tour. Yeah,
yep.
There's a lot going on down here, so he'll have a lot of fun, get in a lot of trouble, hell yeah.
Yeah, he's like my first kind of connection down here besides the neighbor over there, so love meeting all these new people, and he came out and knocked this stuff out. It's looking awesome. So I think I might have him come back because we want to put an air compressor in at some point. I don't know if I'm gonna need your help for that at all. And then what else were we talking about?
We spoke about putting the quad down here for a tire machine.
Oh yeah, I want to try to get some tire changes if we could.
We spoke about we're gonna change those out to LED. Those two light fixtures right there. Other than that, an air handler, and I can't remember if we discussed anything else.
Yeah, I mean that should do it for now.
That should do it.
But if I need any other electrical work done,
heck yeah, man.
got to connect. That's not too far away, and he can come down and
yes, sir.
Get her done.
Out, whatever y'all need.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
So Sean just got out of here, and he did an amazing job, like you guys just saw. Gave me a really good price on everything, and yeah, super happy with how it turned out. I got the doors shut right now, and you can see just how much brighter it is in here. At least hopefully you can tell from the last video, because it was kind of gloomy on the front and back of the shop. But now everything's well lit. You can just see right away that everything's looking nice. So there's something else I want to do before we get too settled in, and that is I want to power wash the walls and these garage doors off. And considering we just had a whole bunch of electrical outlets ran along the wall I want to power wash, I probably should have done this before Sean came, but you know, that's just how it goes. So we got the breaker turned off right now, so none of this is actually powered, and you know, I'm not going to be shooting the power washer right into the electrical boxes. We'll be fine, but we did shut everything off just to be safe. And I want to clean off this bottom half because you can see just how dirty it is. You can see the spot I hit right here with the power washer, just that little bit cleaned it up so much. So I want to be able to do the whole wall and get these doors cleaned off because these are also very nasty. The previous owner said that the shop has not been cleaned since it was put up. So I want to go ahead and power wash the walls out. I need to get some squeegees real quick and, you know, clean the floor off as well. But that is what we are going to be doing next for today. So, you know, it's something that needs to be done. And while the shop isn't too filled with stuff right now, I want to go ahead and get the walls and stuff cleaned off. And that will also help brighten it up in here a little bit because we won't have all that gunk on the walls. So I've been working on this door for a solid 20 or so minutes, probably a little longer, and the power washer was doing a good job just removing all the surface dirt, but stuff has been caked on there over the years, and in order to get like a good clean surface, you literally have to turn the power washer on to its finest setting and get right up close to it to, you know, get it all the way clean. And that's like trying to draw over all of this with a pencil, and that would have just taken me way too long because when the power washer was on its fan setting, it's just not powerful enough to really rip all of this stuff on. I mean, it's really on there. So I took my broom and started scrubbing it, and that seemed to help a lot. Took it right off. You can see this middle section's much cleaner than the rest of it. I still need to get up there, but man, that stuff is caked on there. I started to clean off the top of that. You can see how nasty that is up there, but yeah, the door needs some more work. I'm gonna go ahead and start working on this wall for right now, take a break from that. And the floor is getting kind of wet, so I need to squeegee some of this water out. But yeah, boys, this is gonna be a process, but I wanna get her cleaned up. So I got this wall pretty cleaned off. I'm not done with it yet. You can tell that this spot right here is cleaner than everywhere else. This is where I took the broom once again and scrubbed the wall while it was wet, power washed over that, and that seems to work pretty good. But obviously the broom is not designed to scrub the walls of your shop. It's for the floor. If I knew beforehand that I was gonna need to start scrubbing, I would have just bought some hand brushes. But I really thought the power washer would have been all I needed to you know, fully get it cleaned off. But this stuff is just really caked on there. I don't think it's the power washer's fault. That is a pretty powerful little power washer. I don't think a stronger one's gonna do me any better. If any of you guys have suggestions on how to, you know, clean all this gunk off the walls, if you guys have done it before and you have a much faster way of doing it, let me know. But the way I'm looking at it right now, to get it as clean as I would like, I think I'm just gonna have to spend a full day or two and dedicate all my time just to scrubbing the walls with a hand brush and like a bucket of soap, and then power wash the walls after that. It's really only this wall right here, that corner, and these doors that are bad. Like this section right here, the back walls aren't too bad. They're already pretty clean. It's just right kind of by these red beams right here is where it gets dirty. You can see all this right here and in that corner, but the middle section on these walls is already much cleaner than this side was. But as you could probably tell from the time lapse, the power washer did a really good job of cleaning off all of the surface dirt, and hopefully that time lapse was pretty satisfying for you guys, because this wall is much cleaner than it was before. Looking at it now with that nice and clean spot right there, it kind of looks dirty again, but that is much cleaner than it was because it looked like this everywhere it was before. Now at least it's much whiter, and there was a whole bunch of crap in the water after I power washed it off. But yeah, you know, it's a start. I want to do my best to try to keep this place a little more cleaned up. You know, the Colorado shop got a little hectic with all the parts that we've built up over the years, a lot of stuff we don't even need, but it's just, you know, built up into a huge pile that we didn't even know what to do with. There's more room in this shop compared to the Colorado place where all of it was shoved to the one side. So gonna do my best to keep this place a little more cleaned up, a little more organized, and I'm just trying to better myself. It's hard. I'm trying to break my bad habits. You guys could probably tell that I get impatient with the power washer as I'm going up and down. I can't just keep it in one spot and go, you know, from one side over. I have to start just randomly spraying everywhere. I don't know what it is about me, but I do not have the patience to sit there and get it super close. Like I said with this door, it's literally like trying to draw a pencil across a whole page and completely black it out. Like that's gonna take forever, but I also want it to be super nice and clean. So, you know, I think we might just have to get to scrubbing. We'll get her sorted out, but that's as much time as I really have for today. I did not think it was gonna take me that long, but you know, it's a start, it's a start. So at least we got the lights and stuff knocked out, and I have some stuff to look at on the 240 today, trying to get this flywheel and everything else figured out and get the engine back into the car. So I'm gonna go back to this for the rest of today. As you guys saw earlier today, I went and picked up the flywheel bolts for the S14, and once I got those, I was able to bolt the flywheel up to the engine, and everything clears. It fits good. It does come really close to the plate right there, but that is how it is supposed to sit. I called just to double check, and they said there's just a couple millimeter gap. It sits really close to that plate, so we are good to go there. You can see light coming through. It's kind of hard to see on camera, but it does clear. I spun it over and she's all good to go. And right now I'm just using 4 out of the 8 flywheel bolts to hold that guy on there, because I'm not quite ready just to slap the clutch and transmission on and stuff it back into the car. There's actually a couple more things I need to get figured out. And right now I'm working on figuring out the starter, because this ring gear, with how close it sits to this plate, with the starter bolted up flush to this backside of the plate, it's going to stick out too far. This is something Clutch Masters told me. They said I'm going to need to space the starter back in order for this to work. The only other way around this would be to redesign the flywheel, so the ring gear right here on the flywheel is actually pushed out some. But with the way they designed it, it would have been a lot easier for them, you know, just to make it quick to just space the starter. So that's what I went with, and I have a very, very ghetto rig set up right now. You guys have seen me do some ghetto stuff, but I'm using 3 wrenches on each side of the starter right here to gap it back just a little bit. I'm gonna make some legit spacers, but right now, bear with me guys, this is all that I have. So that puts the little gap right here of the starter right where it needs to be. So you can see the flywheel goes right in between there. The teeth of the starter are actually back behind the flywheel, which is what we want. If I got rid of these wrenches right here, the starter would come forward to where the starter gear is always engaged on the flywheel. And we don't want that. You don't want the starter just to be spinning while the engine's running. That's not gonna be good for anything, because when you power up the starter, that gear shoots out and then it engages and then it retracts when it's done starting the engine. So right now it is just behind the teeth. It is very hard to see on the camera, but the gear is right back there. There you go. And I'm getting ready to kind of test start it right now. I have a jump box hooked up and I'm just going to blip the starter. Right now there is no oil pan on this thing, and I know that. It did have oil in the engine, so it's not like it's a brand new fresh build or anything. So right now there is oil on all of the bearings and everything inside. I'm not going to sit there and crank it forever. I'm just going to give it some blips, make sure that it is engaging properly and working before I put everything back in the car. So don't worry about there being no oil and everything. You know, it's literally dripping oil on the ground and I have to keep cleaning it up. So a couple blips ain't going to hurt the engine. And after I make sure the starter and everything's good, another thing I need to double check is I need to get the clutch bolted on. I'm probably not going to get to this tonight, but I need to get the clutch bolted onto the face of the flywheel there, and I need to measure the distance from the fins with this fully tightened down to the face of the throwout bearing, which is over here on the transmission. So the throwout bearing is right here. I need to measure the gap right here from the fins on that clutch to this throwout bearing. They gave me shims to add on top of this guy right here to make it exactly what I need to be. And they said I want to be within 2 to 3 millimeters of a gap right there. You don't want the gap to be too big, or if there's not enough of a gap and that throwout bearing is actually slightly pushing on the fins of the clutch is going to slip because it's starting to, you know, let loose the pressure on the discs right there. So that's what these bags of shims are for right here. I need to get this all bolted up, and basically what you do is you measure where the fins are, like to that plate, and then you measure the face of that throwout bearing to the face of the transmission, and then you just kind of subtract the difference to see where you're at, and then that will tell me, you know, how many shims I need. So it doesn't have to be perfect, but as long as it's in the ballpark of a couple millimeters, it still needs to be pretty spot on. So it's still an important measurement, and once I get that figured out, then we can stick it all back together and get this guy stuffed in the car and add the other 4 flywheel bolts. And then I'm gonna get some Loctite on the flywheel bolts, make sure those guys don't come out, and get a correct spacer made for the starter, get all that sorted. And yeah, sorry if there's a lot of talking, guys, but you know, there's a lot of stuff going into this custom swap right here. I believe this will be the world's first J-swapped S14. You know, if anyone's done it, I would love to see it. I think I said that in another video, and I don't think anything has come out on it. We're also gonna have to do a custom oil pan as well. Or actually, no, they told me I can use the stock pan, but I do have to cut one of the ears off of it and kind of modify it. But we'll make that work later. And yeah, let's go ahead and test this starter real quick. So that's what I was really wanting to show you guys and share this experience with y'all. So I got the jump box on right there. I got this hooked to the signal, and we're just gonna give her a little blip. Oh, I think that's gonna work. Oh, hold on. She's jiggling. Oh, yeah. That's gonna work perfect. Hell yeah. Okay, so there's a lot of compression right now, and it's shaking the crap out of the motor. So real quick, I'm going to pull the coils and get the plugs out of it, and that'll give me a little better visual. Because like I said, I don't want to turn this over too much with no oil and stuff in it. But that looks like it's gonna work awesome, guys. You hear that? She's just turning over with the starter. That's freaking sweet. You know, I might have done some redneck ingenuity right there, but it gets me by. All right, got the spark plugs pulled out. She should have no compression right now. Let's try this again. Oh, positive came off, but that looks like it's gonna work. Sounds good. Like I said, don't want to spin it too much, but just want to kind of double confirm. I think I've seen enough, but it's also kind of fun. Oh yeah. That's gonna work perfect. So yeah, this doesn't want to stay on, but yeah, that's good enough. The starter should work fine right there. I just have to make some legit spacers, not, you know, 3 wrenches stacked on each side. So I'll just get some aluminum thick spacers, put those guys right there, and then the starter will be good to go. Like I said, got to figure out the pan and stuff, and just take that clutch measurement to get the necessary shimming for the throwout bearing, and that's about it. Get the transmission back on there, stuff it back in the car, and then we can figure out every little thing we need to get this thing fired up, get fuel lines ran, all the good stuff, and then, you know, just keep going from there. And then it's on to figuring out the steering and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm super pumped with all that stuff, how it came out. Super pumped with the progress on the shop so far. I actually just dropped my friends off earlier today at the airport, my Colorado friends. So I was with them for about half the day today, and they just left today. So now I'm all alone for a little bit. But Emilio just actually got into town, so not sure when we will be linking up, but he just got here as well. I've even been talking to Brent. He's really wanting to come out here very soon. So it won't be too long till, you know, we get the gang back together out here and just keep doing what we do. But that is the progress for right now on the S14 and the shop. And I really don't have too much more else to say, guys. So I still have some stuff to take care of at the house. I don't even have a freaking washer or dryer yet. And I'm still sleeping on an air mattress. So that's some other things I need to address while I'm down here as well. So I'll be probably running around tomorrow getting that stuff knocked out too. But yeah, super pumped. Hope you guys are too. One step closer to getting the S14 put back together. And I just want to hear this thing fire up and hear her rip. But that is going to be it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and thank you for watching.